Hello everyone, this is MC Deck Discussions and I'm OhBSmall, and today we have another gameplay video for you with the limited environment that we had, we've been playing with. I've actually finished all of my games of the tournament, and what I wanted to do was play some bonus games, they're not going to count for the tournament. I just wanted to continue to use the limited environment that we had all been playing and use some new heroes and go up again against some of the villains. So today I decided I'm going to go up against, I'm going to take Cable up against Juggernaut, and we'll see how he does. I've played some practice games, and so far looking pretty good. So let me go ahead and show you the setup real quickly here for Juggernaut. I'll have timestamps as usual, so you can skip ahead wherever you want to. But I'll show Juggernaut setup real quickly, and then I'll share the deck, and then we'll get started. All right, so first of all, Juggernaut's setup. Attach Juggernaut's helmet to Juggernaut. So here's his helmet. It's a permanent, and it gives him Stalwart and Overkill, and it has this hero action: spend 3 resources of the same type, remove each momentum counter from Juggernaut, and flip this card. I'm going to flip the card right now so you can see that side real fast. On this side, Juggernaut takes 1 additional damage from each card with a printed mental resource. And then it has a force response after Juggernaut schemes. Place 1 momentum counter on Juggernaut and flip this card. Right. So the main thing here, though, is he loses Stalwart and Overkill once we flip the helmet. And then for the rest of his setup, he gets +1 ATK for each momentum counter here. And then when revealed, place 1 momentum counter here. So right now he actually has 4 ATK. And then if Juggernaut exposes in play, flip it. Otherwise, give Juggernaut a tough status card. So right now he has a tough status card. All right, so that's his setup. And let me go ahead and actually, why don't we do the setup here too? So first of all, you may include player side schemes from any aspect in your deck for Nathan Summers. And then Soldier X setup, search your deck and discard pile for a player side scheme and put it into play. So I've done that. And call for backup is what I have chosen to put into play. And then, the rest of the setup here, by the way, for the main scheme, put Hope Summers into play under the first player's control. And so I have Hope Summers right here, and her thwart and attack will match the heroes. Let's flip that card over. And then now I'll go ahead and share the deck for Cable. All right, so the deck is called From X-Force Soldier to Psionic Superpower. So he is a soldier and X-Force, and we have 40 cards and leadership in here. And so initially, he's a soldier amongst, an X part of the X-Force, amongst a couple of other X-Force allies in here. And then eventually he will become a psionic and become very powerful. So we have in the deck, then I'll just read off who's been included in the deck, or what's been included in the deck, so you can get the overall gist of it, and then we'll get started on the game. So we have Caliban, Kid Omega, M, and I'll do a deck discussion later, a separate video to actually discuss the deck and the purposes of the different pieces of it. Mirage, Nick Fury, Pete Wisdom, Professor X, and Sunspot. So you'll notice, Sunspot, for example, is X-Force, and Caliban's X-Force, and Pete Wisdom. So we have some, various X-Force characters initially, and then most everybody else in here is then X-Men and Psionic, except for Nick Fury. All right, Nick Fury, as usual, is in here to generate card draw mostly, and be able to help with the setup, and especially with these various parts here. So we have Face the Past also to get some extra card draw and setup, and then Make the Call, continuing usually to bring Nick Fury in, but there are some other important cards that I might bring in here and there. Allies that I might bring in here and there instead. But Noble Sacrifice is a big key, so that's part of why Nick Fury, we want him to come into play regularly, is so we can get these Noble Sacrifice cards, so that, which for those who may not know or don't remember, it's a 1-cost event. Hero action: discard an ally you control, then heal damage from your hero equal to that ally's printed hit points, and give your hero a tough status card. So by getting through the deck quite a bit, we can get these Noble Sacrifice cards and make sure we get a tough status, so that when the villain Juggernaut has, that overkill, we have something to protect Cable, a tough status to protect him. Plus, Cable has quite a few hit points. Going back up to his abilities real quickly, right? 2 thwart, 2 attack, 2 defense, 12 hit points in a hand size of 5 on the hero side, hand size of 6 on the other side. Might as well read this his ability too on the hero side. Since we've already done the alter ego side, response after a Cable defeats a side scheme, ready him, and that's a limit of once per phase. All right, and then the player side schemes. I know lots of people, many people like to include a ton of side schemes. I only have 5 in here, and that's just to keep the deck kind of more streamlined. And to me, 5 just works well. Sometimes I'll do more though, and I can see why people might load up the side schemes too. All right, so we have build support, which is specifically meant to get Quinn Carrier in here, right? So you can only play it if your identity has the Avenger trait. So build support's our way to get Quinn Carrier in. We have call for backup, establish perimeter, another chance to get a tough status card. Lock and load to help us get a weapon. We do have 2 weapons. I'll go over those in just a little bit. And then we have our 3 usual double resources. I already mentioned Quinn Carrier. And then for the upgrades, we have Mission Leader, which it's normally costs 2, but only costs 1. You have the Soldier trait, and Cable has a Soldier trait on both the hero and alter ego sides. And then also Scimitar or Scimitar, however it's pronounced. And it's notice that it's a psionic and it's a weapon and it's restricted. So he already has his own weapon included in his deck, which is Plasma Rifle. And so lock and load is meant to get either one or the other into play, and then the other one will just come into play naturally. Sometimes I've in the games the couple of games I played before this, I actually used it once for one weapon and once for the other. It just made more sense in certain situations to get one versus the other. So it was interesting to see that it made a difference depending upon how things played out. All right, so that's the deck. Oh, Mission Leader, by the way, it has this hero response. After a side scheme is defeated, exhaust Mission Leader. Each player draws 1 card. Of course, I'm just one player, so I just draw a card in this case. All right, as usual, there's the bit of a description over here, should anybody want to read it. So I'll have, this is, again, not a publicly published deck. It's in my private collection, but I'll have the link and you'll be able to access it if you wish to. All right, let's get started on the game. All right, let's go ahead and draw up our hand size of 6. Okay, and as I mentioned before, we already have call for backup in play, and I'm liking what I'm seeing here. This is pretty decent. Let's see. All right, yeah, let's go ahead and keep what we have, and let's turn over. And this isn't the most efficient way to do this, but I want to simultaneously flip the helmet over and get things going here. I also want to confuse Juggernaut, or actually maybe stun him. So in any case, we're going to go ahead and use these 2 to thwart with. So we'll thwart with Hope Summers, and we'll thwart with Cable, and that will get call for backup completed. And then we can, each player will search their deck and discard pile for an ally and put it into play, and I will choose to get Nick Fury. So let's look at our allies here, and there's Nick Fury. All right, shuffle up. Okay, and then we're going to draw 3 cards. Alrighty, so now we have plenty of cards to choose from in order to flip Juggernaut's helmet, right? Spend 3 resources of the same type, and then we can remove each momentum counter from Juggernaut and flip this card. So what are we going to grab here? All right, too bad we don't have another physical. That would have made things easy. But let's go ahead and use the mental resources. I'm going to discard Caliban, Professor X, and Mirage. And that'll flip, that's 3 mental resources. So that'll flip this. Oh, but first remove the, what is that counter called again? The momentum counter. Okay. All right. And then now let's go ahead and play Mirage, or actually put Mirage into play using Make the Call. So we will take the Strength and the Body Slide and use Make the Call and put Mirage into play. Okay. All right. So Mirage costs 3 there. So response after Mirage enters play, choose an enemy whose scheme is less than Mirage's thwart. Stun that enemy. And Juggernaut's scheme fits that description, so we will stun Juggernaut. All right. And then let's get, which one of these do we want in? We can't start getting this one yet anyway, so let's put establish perimeter into play. And then we'll use Mirage to wipe 2 threat off of that and give each identity a tough status. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Did I remember to ready Cable after defeating the previous one? I don't think I did. I'm going to rewind things and check on that. You can use the backspace button in order to do that. Not backspace, the back arrow, the left arrow button. So I'm going to just check on that, and then I'll be right back to this moment. Okay, so I had paused, now I'm back, and I did forget to ready Cable. So Cable's ready, so he does get that 1 ready, right? Limit once per phase after he defeats a side scheme. That means we can, but I think we still will use Mirage to defeat this established perimeter. So that makes our second one over here, and this one gives when defeated, give each identity a tough status. So now Cable has a tough status as well. Really nice. All right, and then let's go ahead and attack with Nick Fury, taking 1 consequential, getting rid of the tough, and attack with Cable and dealing 2 damage. So he goes from 21 down to 19. All right, let's ready up and draw our hand size. And it is now, we'll keep track of the rounds for a little while, for as long as I know I'm keeping track of them. Okay. All right, so he gets 1 threat added to the main scheme, and then he goes to attack, but he is stunned, and then we get out an encounter card. Hero response after you, he gets 3 threat on it. Hero response after you defend against an attack with Juggernaut. Remove 1 threat from this scheme. Oh, interesting. All right, it has 2 acceleration counters on it. I've read that before to myself. I just always forget what it says. Okay, that ends the round. And so we can now discard Nick Fury. And we're in round 2. All right, so we got some interesting choices here. All right, first, let's go ahead and use Hope Summers to remove 2 threat. And then we'll use Cable to remove another threat, defeating this side scheme, which that does allow Cable to ready up. Okay. And then since we can't play Quinn Carrier anyway, I'm going to discard Quinn Carrier to pay to play. Oh, this costs 0 to play. Never mind. I'm just going to put, I could have put that into play last time. Oh, that's silly. I just assumed it cost 1. I guess I wasn't paying attention to that before, but that was kind of a waste. Okay. It would have been nice to have another card in my hand, because who knows if I wouldn't have gotten one of my thwart cards. All right. So in any case, the Technovirus Purge is a side scheme. Characters other than Cable cannot remove threat from Technovirus Purge, so only him and his events, or his own cards. While Technovirus Purge is in the victory display, Nathan Summers and Cable, so that's both sides of him, gain the Psionic trait, and Cable gets +1 thwart, +1 ATK, and +1 defense. All right, and then let's go ahead and place Scimitar here. So those 2, and now we have one of these weapons in play. And after you play another Psionic card, this hero response, it's an attack, exhaust Scimitar, and deal 2 damage to an enemy. I'm going to put 2 damage tokens on it as a symbol for that. And let's go ahead and remove 2 of this threat right now with Cable, and then we will leave it at that. All right, let's ready up and draw our hand size. Okay. Oh, and I did have a mind scan here, so I could have, that really would have worked. All right, so now it's Juggernaut's turn. Let's add 1 threat to the main scheme. He's going to attack for 3 plus this card. I want to save this tough for a little while at least, so I'm going to defend with Mirage. And so that's 5 damage, hitting Mirage, defeating Mirage, get out an encounter card. When revealed, the players as a group take indirect damage equal to Juggernaut's ATK. So that's 3 damage. We'll just let Cable take all of that on his tough. Boom. So that's gone. And now it's back to our turn, and we're in round 3. All right. Okay, I would like to continue to set up my kit. So I'm going to use Face the Past. Oh, hold on. But first, I'm going to have Cable remove 2 threat from the main scheme. Okay, and then now I'll play Face the Past. All right, so we'll search the encounter deck, discard pile, and set aside area for your Nemesis minion and reveal it. So right over here. So that's going to bring in Strife. And then ready your hero, boom. And draw 3 cards. There we go. Okay. And then you cannot attack the villain this phase. Remove this card from the game. So I'll put it in the out of play area here. All right. Okay, nice. All right, so I got some interesting cards here. The first thing I'm going to do is play 2 to get Mind Scan into play, or to play Mind Scan. Okay, remove 3 threat from a scheme, remove 1 additional threat from that scheme for each side scheme in the victory display. Currently we have 2, but we're not going to need all that. We're going to remove 3 threat right here from Techno Virus Purge. Okay. And then that's going to also be over here. Okay. And now Cable has the psionic trait on both sides, and he gets +1 thwart, +1 ATK, and +1 defense. So my symbols for that are these tokens, indicating he gets +1 on each of those. Okay. Plus, this is a psionic card, so this that triggers this card here. So we're going to deal 2 damage to Strife. And now they both Hope Summers and Cable have 3 thwart, 3 attack. So we're going to attack with Cable, dealing the other 3 damage to defeat Strife. By the way, Strife came in with Villainous and plus a Forced Interrupt when a player plays a psionic event. Oh, that's right. Okay, I didn't take that into account. Cancel the effects of that event to deal 1 damage to Strife. Okay, so we're doing this backwards. We don't want to do it in that order. Okay, we have to undo what we just did, because we were just cheating. Okay, there we go. All right, so instead, let's do the following. All right, let's play Kid Omega, who only costs 2 and is a psionic in X-Men. So we'll use Noble Sacrifice and Sunspot to play Kid Omega. Okay? And then since we just played a psionic card, we'll exhaust this and deal 2 damage to Strife. Okay? Then we'll have Kid Omega attack and deal 2 more damage. Okay? And then we'll have Cable attack and finish off Strife. There we go. So now Strife is out of play, and we don't have to worry about Strife's Forced Interrupt. Then we will use these 2 cards to play Mind Scan, and then that will allow us to remove all 3 of this threat and defeat Techno Virus Purge. Now we have 3 player side schemes over there in the victory display. Okay. And then now Cable has +1 attack, +1 thwart, +1 defense. So has now 3 of each of those, and Hope Summers now has 3. And so Hope Summers is going to attack for 3, but also Cable Juggernaut's exposed, and Hope Summers has a mental resource, so that's going to be 4 damage altogether. So bring him down from 19 down to 15. Okay, let's ready up and draw our hand size. All right. Juggernaut's turn, add 1 threat to the main scheme. He's going to attack for 3 plus his boost card, and we will defend with Kid Omega, and taking 3 additional damage, boom, and then get an encounter card, reveal that, and the villain attacks you. I'm going to just allow that attack to happen, so it's going to be 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, pretty good chunk of damage there, going from 12 down to 6. Okay, now it's our turn. And let's see, we have Make the Call, so that seems like that would be good to bring that in. Mind Scan, Telekinetic Force Field. Oh, that's a good one to get into play. Oh, Build Support. Okay. Ooh. Yeah, let's see. What do we want to do? All right. I think we're going to get Professor X. I believe Professor X is over here in the... Well, we have a lot of allies over here already. Okay, yeah, there's Professor X. I guess... Oh, we're getting through the deck pretty well here. So I'm going to use this card, and this card. I'm going to play Make the Call, use those cards to get Professor X into play. Okay. All right. And then, too bad we can't get build support in quite yet, but that is a psionic, okay? And, oh, after you play another psionic card, exhaust Scimitar. I did not play Professor X, I put him into play. Okay, well, I may have cheated in previous games, although I don't think I did. But in any case, that does not trigger this because I did not play a psionic. All right, but Professor X does put a confuse on Juggernaut, and then he's going to remove this threat from the main scheme. Okay. And we're going to take advantage of this situation here. Hope Summers is going to attack for 3+1 again, 4 more damage, so bringing Juggernaut down from 15 to 11. And we're going to flip Cable over, and he's going to heal for 4, going from 6 back up to 10. Okay. All right. And then let's get ready and draw our hand size. Okay. All right. And, oh, that was the beginning of Renown 4, I think. I think I'm still keeping track of this well. All right. And then, so now it's Juggernaut's turn. All right. And while I'm thinking of this, I'm going to say this out loud so that I hear it. I do still want to try to get 10 points, right? So I want to try to clear the main scheme completely of threat. And just like I'm running the tournament, try to wipe out all, minions and side schemes. All right. So let's go ahead and go with Juggernaut's turn here. Put 1 threat on the main scheme and remove the confuse. Get his encounter card. In expert mode, this card gains insight 1. Okay. When revealed, if Juggernaut exposed is in play, flip it and place a momentum counter on Juggernaut. So we're going to flip this and put a momentum counter on Juggernaut. Okay, so that means we'd like to get rid of his helmet again, flip it over. And then Professor X, it's the end of the round, so Professor X is gone, and we're starting, I think, round 5. All right, so let's see what we have here. Okay, so we have that build support, so I'd like to get that in play. Oh, lock and load I'd like to get out there too. Ooh, boy, and Grey Malkin. Temporal Leap. That card is one I could use, and I would like to start attacking pretty darn soon here, but probably not this. Probably be the next round when I really go for the attacks. All right. So let's flip on over to Hero's side, and we will use this Genius to play Grey Malkin. Hold on a sec. I do want to flip the helmet back over. All right. So let's play Build Support. It costs 1. We'll use Temporal Leap to do that. Okay. And then we'll use Cable to remove all 3 of that threat. And then he readies. That's his first time defeating one of those this turn. Okay. All right. And then now we can search our deck and discard pile for a support with a cost of 3 or less and put it into play. So we will get Quinn Carrier, which I think is in the discard pile. Look for the supports. There it is. Okay. Now we have Quinn Carrier. All right, and then we will use this double to play Grey Malkin. And then we will, Grey Malkin, after a side scheme is defeated, ready Grey Malkin. Oh, right, I should have done that beforehand. I totally forgot it had that ability. Okay, so let's put build support back for a sec and Quinn Carrier back here. All right, so we used that double to play Grey Malkin. Then we defeated this scheme here. So then we used Grey Malkin to get lock and load in. Then we defeated this side scheme build support. Okay, there we go. Because that lock and load cost 1. There we go. So now that readies Cable and readies Grey Malkin, and because we defeated this, we have Quinn Carrier in play. All right. Then we will use Quinn Carrier and Grey Malkin, both as we have a wild and an energy and telekinetic blast. We will use that to flip over use our 3 resources to remove the momentum counter and flip this over. All right. So now the helmet will, Juggernaut's helmet will now be over on Juggernaut exposed side. Okay. All right. And then we'll go ahead and use cable again to remove the lock and load. Get that in the side scheme. And then when defeated, each player may search their deck and discard pile for a weapon upgrade with a cost of 3 or less and put it into play. So we will get his weapon, which I think is over here. Upgrade plasma rifle. All right. So now we have plasma rifle. Shuffle the deck. Let's put that over here. Okay. All right. So this is restricted. So we have now two restricted weapons in play. Okay. And I like putting this extra symbol on here to indicate that I do actually have to exhaust plasma rifle and spend a resource, in this case an energy resource. Then we can deal 1 damage to an enemy for each side scheme in the victory display to a maximum of 4, and the attack gains range. And we have 5 over here. So I'm going to put that maximum of 4, basically this is a marker there, so I put 4 damage counters on him, just to indicate it currently does 4 damage. All right, so we can't use that right now, but what we can do is attack with Hope Summers, dealing 3 damage plus 1, 4 more damage. So we'll deal 4 damage and bring, could be a good reason to, we haven't had the advances yet. Yeah, so both of those are available. And we have 25 cards left. Because if he defeats this, let's see, that goes up by 1. 1 plus 3 would be 4, and he could defeat that. I've had that, I've paid the price for that in the past, so I'm going to play this conservatively. I'm going to remove that. Okay. All right, but we'll start pouring on the damage here real soon anyway, so we should be in pretty good shape for that. Barring any unforeseen circumstances, let's ready up, draw our hand size, and it is now Juggernaut's turn. Put 1 threat on the main scheme. He's going to attack for 3 plus this. We have 10 hit points. Let's see, what do we have here? We don't really have a lot going on, so I think I will defend. Okay, so that's, all right, so 3, 4, plus give Juggernaut a tough status for the boost effect. Oops, not a stun. A tough status card. Tough status, rather. Okay. All right. And so he dealt 4 damage altogether, and Cable defended for 3. So we took 1 damage. He's down at 9. Discard that. Get an encounter card. When revealed, search your deck, discard, give to the Nathan Summers player. It's an obligation. Search your deck, discard pile, hand, and victory display for Technovirus Purge and put it into play. Okay. So that gets rid of, so Cable no longer has these bonuses. So let's remove those bonuses from him. Looks like I accidentally removed one before. Okay. Attach this card to Technovirus Purge. If you cannot, discard this card and deal yourself 1 face down encounter card. Oh, okay. All right. And it has an acceleration token on it as well. All right. Now we did happen to luck out here because we have Mind Scan and still 4 side schemes in play. So we're going to be able to take care of that real quickly. So let's play, well, hold on. We have Mission Leader. Reduce the cost to play Mission Leader by 1 if your identity has the soldier trait, and he does. So this will only cost 1. So let's get that into play. So I'm going to use Quincair to get Mission Leader into play and put my own little token on him. All right, and then it has this hero response. After a side scheme is defeated, exhaust Mission Leader. Each player draws a card. All right, so now we're going to play Mind Scan. We're going to use Grey Malkin and one of these other cards. Which one do we want to use? Because we probably want to put one of these in play. Okay, so let's use Precognition as well. All right. So we're going to, we use Grey Malkin and Precognition, and we're going to play Mind Scan. Okay, remove 3 threat, plus 1 additional for each scheme in the victory display. So that is going to remove 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, so that's plenty to take care of Technovirus Purge again. So now that's back there. And we did just play a psionic card. So that's going to trigger Scimitar, dealing 2 damage, getting rid of the tough. Okay. All right, and now the bonuses are back. Okay, so it gets +1/+1/+1 for his thwart, attack, and defense. So it has 3/3/3 now. Okay. All right, and let's get, I think we're going to get this Ascani-san into play. Has a hero response. It's a thwart. After you defend against an enemy attack, exhaust Ascani-san and spend an energy resource. Remove threat from a scheme equal to your hero's thwart. All right. So whereas this one, oh, by the way, we just defeated a side scheme. So that readies Cable. He defeated it with his event, and that also readies Grey Malkin. Okay. And that one can keep readying again and again if you defeat side schemes. All right. And then the other one is after hero response, after a non-permanent side scheme is defeated, add Forced Amnesia and that side scheme to the victory display. So you can put other ones in this victory display too that are from the villains deck. All right, so we're going to use that one though to play this one, and I'm going to put that next to Cable, and I'm going to put basically, let's see, 3 thwart on here is kind of an indication of what this does, but again, we have to pay an energy resource to make that threat removal happen. Okay, but these guys are still ready. Oh, goodness. I played that too soon because we were supposed to draw a card after defeating that side scheme. I'm going to keep forgetting that if I don't put that out here. Okay, so we drew a card and we got Make the Call. Okay. Oh, in addition, we went through our deck, and so Juggernaut gets an extra encounter card. All right, so now let's go ahead and attack with Cable for 3. So that brings Juggernaut from 11 down to 8, and attack with Hope Summers for 3 plus or 1 point bonus because Juggernaut's still exposed. So that's 4 damage, bringing him down from 8 down to 4. From 8 to 4. All right, and then we can still use the plasma rifle, and we can deal our 4 damage still. Okay. Hold on, what happened? Oh, I accidentally put this out of play. It doesn't say that once we defeat no, that should have gone back into the discard pile of the encounter deck. Okay, yeah, I almost kind of cheated there. All right. But we can play the plasma rifle by playing an energy resource. We will use Grey Malkin for that, and we'll do 4 damage. Oh, do we want to do that yet and flip? Because that'll flip Juggernaut exposed over, and he'll have overkill again. So do we want to do that yet? Yeah, we're not in a great spot to do that, I don't think. Okay, so here's what we're going to do instead. So I forgot, I wasn't even considering that. So Cable had dealt 3 damage, okay? So I'm going to undo his attack, right, of 3 damage. You know what, let me double check that really happened. I'm gonna pause the recording and undo stuff and double check that that's how it really happened. Yes, that is what really happened. So I'm gonna put that 3 life back, 3 hit points back, okay? And instead, Cable is going to get rid of a threat on the main scheme, okay? And then now we will go ahead and pay the energy resource and deal 4 damage, bring it down to 3, and that way we have this cleared, okay? All right, and then and then that'll set us up on the next round, and I'll feel better about having that set up. Okay, so let's ready up and draw our hand size, and it is now Juggernaut's turn. I think round 5 still. I'm not sure if I messed that up yet. Okay, so let's add 1 threat to the main scheme, and Juggernaut is going to attack for 3 plus this card here. And I'm going to take that hit. Okay. So we deal 3, 4, 5 damage. So that brings us down from 9 to 4. Okay. All right, and he gets 2 encounter cards. Here's the first one. This Creeping Willow has Guard and Quick Strike. Okay? And so and then has a force response after Creeping Willow attacks and damages a character, stun that character. I am going to just let him attack. Ooh, boy, there's a card that could end us if I let that happen. Ooh, there's a lot of ways we could lose right now. Okay, wow, I'm going to let that attack happen. We could actually lose right now. Okay, and we're going to get stunned. Okay, so let's see what happens with this card here. The villain attacks you. Okay, so we're going to defend. And he attacks for 3, 4, plus we're stunned. Okay, well, at least we got double stunned. Okay, all right, so he attacked for 3, 4. We defended for 3, so we still took 1 damage. But after you defend against an enemy attack, exhaust this card and spend an energy resource. Okay? And then that lets us remove threat from a scheme. Ooh, is that worth it, this resource? I don't think that's worth this resource. We're not going to do that. Okay, especially for just 1 threat. All right, so at least we're okay for now. Okay. All right, so boy, that was actually a bit dangerous. We got ourselves into a bad spot there. We might want to get this telekinetic force field in play soon to make sure that kind of thing doesn't happen in the future. All right. Let's see. For now, though, I think what I'd like to do... Okay, yeah, we're going to be in a little bit of a risky spot here for a bit, but let's get Kid Omega into play. So we'll use Quinn Carrier and Pete Wisdom to play Kid Omega, and then that is a Psionic card that we just played, Kid Omega. So we'll do 2 damage to the Creeping Willow. Okay. And then Kid Omega will attack Creeping Willow and defeat it. And Creeping Willow has guard, by the way. Okay. All right. And then I think what we'd better do is get this card into play. Yeah, and we need to set up for next round, and we got to heal up. Okay. So yeah, let's get that card into play. So that once we're on hero side, this only works on hero side. When a friendly character would take any amount of damage, discard telekinetic force field and prevent all of that damage. So we'll put this over here attached to him. All right, so that's going to protect him or anybody else in play. And then Hope Summers is just going to clear the main scheme. I still don't like it that we haven't seen the much in the way of our so this main scheme can be busted at any time, which is going to allow Juggernaut to attack us, and with overkill. So, so that's really dangerous right now. We might be better off staying on this side for just a little longer. Okay. Oh, yeah. And then just use this. Yeah, we might want to do that one more turn, and maybe we could safely get over to the other side on our next turn. Boy, we still have stun. We have to undo that stun so we can heal. Well, we don't have to do that to heal, but still. I do see a mistake I did make. I didn't use Grey Malkin to help play Kid Omega, and so I could have make the call in hand, and I am going to do that. I'm going to keep that in hand. All right, so I think we will stay on this side one more time. Boy, it's risky no matter what I do here. Yeah, let's flip over, and I guess we're going to have to take the chance. We have 19 cards left. And I don't think we have any of those. Yeah, boy, this game's a lot riskier than the practice games that I played. Yeah, I think we just have to flip down to the other side. So let's go ahead and do that. Flip to Alter Ego. And let's ready up and draw our hand size. All right. Okay, and that could give us some leeway if we survive this round. All right, here we go. So add 1 threat to the main scheme, and he's going to scheme for 1, 2, 3. Okay, and it gets his encounter card. Oh, we lucked out. All right, yeah, it has guard and quick strike, but we're on our alter ego side, so the quick strike doesn't happen. Okay, all right. So we're not going to worry about this stun right now. We're going to go ahead and heal up for 4, so go from 2 up to 6. Okay. All right, and then let's flip over to our hero side. Okay. And then we will be able to get rid of the stun, maybe, so that might be okay. All right, let's use Quinn Carrier plus Caliban and Telekinetic Blast to get Professor X into play. Okay. All right, and he's going to confuse the villain. Okay, give us a little leeway there. And then we'll have Professor X remove 3 threat from the main scheme. Okay. And then I'm going to use Mind Scan to play Noble Sacrifice. And we're going to sacrifice Professor X, healing Cable. So discard an ally you control, heal damage from your hero equal to the ally's printed hit points, and give your hero a tough status card. All right, so that puts us in way better shape now, especially because we also have this other telekinetic force field. Okay, so we're going to discard Professor X, so go from 6 to 9 hit points and get a tough status. Okay. All right. Oh, and when Professor X was played, we could trigger Scimitar, dealing 2 damage to Creeping Willow. And then we will use Grey Malkin to try to attack with Plasma Rifle, but that's just going to get the stun off of Cable. Okay. And then, let's see, that's 2 damage. It's an attack, right? Yeah, so this has guard, so we couldn't do more than that. And I think I'm going to continue to play this pretty conservatively. So we're going to just let Hope Summers take out that card there, and then let's ready up. Okay, now we're in a lot better shape, and I would like to bring on the attack. Okay, so hopefully we can start doing that at this point. All right, so Juggernaut's turn. Add 1 threat to the main scheme. He's going to attack. We'll just defend with Kid Omega, and that's 3, 4, 5, 6 damage. Okay, then he gets an encounter card. When revealed, Juggernaut attacks the ally with the fewest remaining hit points. And we can't allow that to happen, of course, because that's Hope Summers. Hope Summers, I didn't read this before, but if Hope Summers leaves play, the players lose the game. Okay? So we're going to defend with Cable. Okay? And so that's going to be 3, 4, 5 damage, getting rid of this tough. Okay? Oops. There we go, getting rid of this tough. Okay, all right, handled that pretty decently, had a pretty good margin of safety, and we needed it. Okay, so let's see here. What do we have? What allies do we have over here? Professor X doesn't make sense. Pete Wisdom, Kid Omega. All right. Okay, so let's see. 1, 2, 3. Looks good. All right, so we're going to attack with the Plasma Rifle using Grey Malkin, okay, and deal 4 damage to the villain, defeating him. Okay. All right, and when revealed, search the encounter deck and discard pile for Head of Steam and reveal it. So Head of Steam. I thought I saw it over here. Yes, so I just saw that as a boost card a little bit ago. Okay. All right, so here's Head of Steam. Juggernaut gains Retaliate X, where X is the number of momentum counters on Juggernaut. When revealed, attach Head of Steam to Juggernaut and place 1 momentum counter on him. So that is going to give Head of Steam, I'm going to put a damage marker on him for the Retaliate, but here, put the momentum counter on Juggernaut. Okay, and then hero response: after Juggernaut attacks you, spend 1 resource for each damage dealt by that attack. So not received, but dealt, not taken rather. And then we can discard this. All right, next there's more. Shuffle the deck, which I think I did. Well, no, we didn't need to. All right, and then if Juggernaut exposes in play, flip it. So we're going to flip it. Okay. Otherwise, give him a tough status so he doesn't get that. All right. Okay, so continuing our turn, I would like to flip Juggernaut's helmet back over. So we do have Quinn Carrier plus this strength here, right? So Quinn Carrier plus the double, and so that's 3 resources of the same type. Remove the momentum counter and flip this back over. All right, excellent. Okay, so now we also deal the bonus damage again still. From here on for each mental resource because Juggernaut exposes in play. So we're going to attack with Hope Summers for the usual 3 plus 1 or 4 damage, so 25 down to 21 points. And then, let's see, what do we have? Forced Amnesia, Precognition, and Noble Sacrifice. Yeah, those are a waste, but Make the Call is not a waste. So let's use Make the Call. And I think, yeah, we'll get Kid Omega out. All right. So let's pay these 2 cards here, or use those 2 cards with, and we're going to use play Make the Call and use those cards to get an ally out, and that's going to be Kid Omega. Okay. All right, and then Kid Omega is going to thwart for 2. Okay. All right, and then let's go to the alter ego side. Yeah, I want to get a bunch of cards. I want to take this battle to him. I want to try to get as many cards as possible here. All right, so let's flip over to the alter ego side, and let's ready up and draw our hand size. Any attack cards? No, but we have another Make the Call. All right, okay, but yeah, we can still be able to deal a decent amount of damage here. All right, so Juggernaut's turn. Move 1 threat to the main scheme. He's confused. Get an encounter card. When revealed, discard an upgrade or support you control. Okay, which one? We're going to get rid of that one right there. So this Ascani-san. Okay. All right, good. Our turn. Are we going to bother healing up? I don't think so. I think we want to do a bunch of damage here. So let's flip over to the hero side. We have Make the Call, so let's see what we want to do. Which allies? 2 attack. M has 4 attack, but she costs a lot too. Oh, let's see. Caliban. After Caliban enters play, discard cards from the top of deck until an X Factor, X Force, or X Men ally is discarded. Add that to your hand. Oh, we only have 9 cards. Yeah, so we don't want to do that. All right. Okay, yeah, let's go ahead and get. Well, we could get him out and then not use that ability. Is he a mental? Oh yeah, so he'll do extra damage. Okay. All right, that works for me. All right, so keep the order there. So let's go ahead. We'll use Quinn Carrier. First, we're playing Make the Call. We use Quinn Carrier and the Genius here to play, or to get. Where are you? Look at the allies again. We're going to get Caliban in play, but not use his ability. Okay. All right, so keep the order. Okay. Okay, and then, oh yeah, we got some good stuff here. All right, so let's use Grey Malkin to attack for 4 with Plasma Rifle. So 21 down to 17. Then we'll attack with, oh, he's not on his hero side yet, my bad. We flipped to the hero side and then did that. And then now he's going to attack for, Cable's going to attack for 3. So 17 down to 14. Okay. Hope Summers is going to attack for 3 plus 1 or 4. So 14 down to 10. And then Caliban's going to attack for 2 plus 1 because he's a mental, has a mental resource. So that's 3 damage, 10 down to 7. And then let's go ahead and play. Let's see, we can't defeat him now anyway. So we might as well use Noble Sacrifice to get that extra bit of, yeah, that'll give us that extra bit of precaution here. So we will play Noble Sacrifice, okay, and discard an ally you control. That's going to be Kid Omega. And heal damage from our hero, so from 9 up to 11, and give him a tough status. All right, I think that sets us up very well, and we have some attack damage we can do on our next turn. So we're definitely set up to defeat him on the next turn, as long as nothing wild happens here. All right, so let's go. I'm not sure what round it is. It's got to be at least 6. 1 threat on the main scheme. Juggernaut's going to attack for 4. Okay, just let him take that. Yeah, we're just going to let him take that. So 4, 5, and deal 1 damage to an ally you control. We'll just put that on Hope Summers. All right. So that makes gets rid of the tough status. Okay. All right, and then get an encounter card. And it has Hinder. Each copy of Creeping Willow gains Surge. And that's it for his turn. So this is going to be game over right now, but we got to make sure to clear everything to get them maximize the points. We got to get rid of this 6. We've got a Mind Scan. Very nice. So we'll be able to get rid of all of that pretty easily. So let's see. We have 1. Yeah, let's go 1, 2 to play Mind Scan. Remove 3 threat from a scheme, 1 additional threat for each scheme in this over here, right? So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Boom, that's gone. Took care of that. Oh, wait, timeout. Cable has his ability, so what we should have done, 2 things. Instead of playing with Quinn Care, here, let me undo that. Let's make this clean. Okay, got to use the things we have available to us. All right. Okay, so we're going to use Quinn Carrier and Grey Malkin to play Mind Scan. Oh, after we thwart with Cable. There we go. So now we use Mind Scan, get rid of this threat. Okay. We just defeated a side scheme. So that means Cable can ready. And that also means that Grey Malkin can ready. Okay. All right. So now we got a clean board. So we get 10 hit points, or we're going to get 10 victory points. By defeating the villain. So let's do that right now. First, we'll use Grey Malkin to attack with the rifle, dealing 4 damage, bringing him down from 7 to 3. Then we'll attack with Cable. That's the rest of the 3 damage down to 0. Okay, so far we've done 7 damage. I just want to see how much damage we do altogether. So there's 7 altogether so far. Then Hope Summers attacks for 3 plus 1 because the technology. So that's 4 damage. That's 11 points of damage altogether. Caliban attacks for 2 damage plus 1 because he's a mental, so 11 up to 14. And then that's pretty much it. Oh, Mind Scan was a psionic card, so the Scimitar triggered, dealing 2 damage, so that's 16 damage. And then I guess the last thing we can do to do a little bit more damage is play Mirage. So we use these 3 cards here to play Mirage. All right, and then she can deal 1 damage, but she has a mental resource on her too, so that's 18 points of damage that we finished with. Oh, we were supposed to draw a card. Oh, yeah, we should have drawn a card. So that actually means we could have played instead. I'm not going to bother, withdrawing this and doing it over. The game's over. But we could have played Nick Fury, and he could have done his 4 damage, but he's a mental resource, so he would have done 5 damage with his ability, and then he could have attacked and done 2 plus 1, 3 damage. So he could have done 7 damage instead of the 3 damage that we just did. So we could have done 4 more damage there if we had done that. Okay, but it doesn't really matter. Game's over, and that would have been a 10-point victory. Though there were some risky moments there if we had gotten the wrong card at the wrong time for us. Then we very well could have lost that because he has some dangerous cards that could have had him attack and flip over to, his Juggernaut's helmet side. So Juggernaut continues to always be a risky villain to play. But there's the deck or the game, and then I'll be doing, like I said, I'll be doing a deck description video too to kind of talk about all the strategies involved with it. But you probably saw most of it here today. All right, have a great one, everybody.